Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first ever episode of the Cheap Seats podcast. So today we're going to be talking about the MLB playoffs, Monday Night Football that just happened last night, and the NBA preseason from yesterday. It's going to be a bit of a shorter recap where it is just the preseason. But we're going to start right off. We're going to dive right into it. The MLB playoff last night, it was the Seattle Mariners facing off against the Toronto Blue Jays. Sorry for my error there. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 3 ABs, walked once, did not actually have a hit all night long, which is a bit disturbing because right now the Mariners just blew Seattle out of the water. They won 10-3. The Blue Jays team had 6 hits. The Mariners had 10 hits, and they scored 10 runs. That's just efficient. The ALCS was going to run through Toronto. I feel like if Toronto would have even won one of those games, they would have had great momentum going into Seattle, and then you can always come back to Toronto because, of course, you are the best team in the AL according to the playoff standings. So, the Mariners walking in Toronto, you just come off Game 5 against the Tigers, and the Blue Jays are on fire. I mean, you just beat the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. You're flying high. I mean, you're coming off a huge win against the Yankees, a huge division rival of yours. And now you go into your home stadium and you lose 2 to the Mariners. I mean, shout out to Randy Arozarena, Cal Raleigh, and Julio Rodriguez, because Julio Rodriguez had 4 ABs, 1 hit, and 3 RBIs. That's huge. Did he strike out 3 times? Yes. But, if Vladdy, even though he didn't necessarily strike out that much, or George Springer, this team just needs to get on base and not... This team, I feel like right now, is struggling immensely with flyouts. I mean, It's right now not doing, it does not look great for the Blue Jays right now because you just lost 2 games in your home stadium to the Mariners. Now you're going to Seattle for 2 games. The Mariners have an opportunity to sweep the Blue Jays out of the playoffs, and you won 2 games in Toronto. The Blue Jays right now, they are a good team. They're a really good team, but right now the Mariners are just outplaying them. And plus, the Mariners have more on the line. The Mariners have never made the World Series through all the greatness they've had. Ken Griffey Jr. never made the World Series. So this is a huge 2 games in the Mariners franchise because you have a chance to go to the World Series, and you could make the World Series from your home field. It's a huge moment for the Blue Jays organization. Moving on, or actually before we go, George Springer for the Blue Jays, who in my short last night, I said that he needs to wake up and show the world what he can do. 4 ABs, 1 hit, and a base on balls. So he got out twice, but he reached base twice, which is definitely what they needed to do, but then he had no backup behind him. Vladdy, like I said, did not have a hit all night long against that Seattle pitching staff. I don't know. I really feel like, though, Seattle has a really good chance to sweep Toronto out of these playoffs because you have the momentum, and now you're going back to Seattle, which is a huge moment for the Mariners franchise. So, moving on, tonight at 8 o'clock, roughly, the Dodgers are going to play the Brewers back in, I guess they're going to be in Milwaukee. But I feel like the Dodgers have a really good chance. They have Yamamoto on the mound facing Peralta. Right now, I feel like Shohei Ohtani did not have the greatest game one, but I feel like he's Shohei, and he's probably going to have, a heck of a game against the Brewers. I feel like if the Dodgers win this, same thing with the Mariners. I feel like they got a great chance to go back to LA and sweep the Brewers out. But if the Brewers win, now you have the momentum going into LA, and LA's kind of been a streaky team this year. So maybe if the Brewers win this game at home, they might have a good chance here to beat the Dodgers and maybe make the World Series. We're going to move on, though, to Monday Night Football. We're going to move past baseball. Moving into Monday Night Football, Bills played the Falcons. I personally had the Bills winning. I feel like a lot of people had the Bills winning. But the Bills have now lost 2 straight to very mediocre teams, and they have now lost the division lead to the Patriots because the Patriots beat them on Sunday Night Football. Right now, the Bills have lost 2 big games on national television. The Bills, honestly, are probably my Super Bowl pick. I mean, I feel like the Bills could win the Super Bowl, but when you lose to the Falcons and the Patriots, 2 teams that did not make the playoffs last year, it's a bit concerning. You've lost 2 straight. It's really interesting, though, because Josh Allen threw for 180 yards, but he threw 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Not very Josh Allen. James Cook, 17 attempts, only got 87 yards and 5.1 yards per carry, didn't run in a touchdown. I mean, this is a very interesting thing. Ray Davis got a touchdown, and then Dawson Knox also got a touchdown. Those were the 2 passing touchdowns for the Bills. But then the Falcons, I mean, Michael Penix Jr. had a night, 20 for 32, 250 yards, threw a touchdown. Bijan Robinson, 170 yards on 19 carries. He had 8.9 yards per carry on average, of course, and then 1 touchdown. And then Drake London, 10 receptions, 158 yards, 15.8 yards per reception, and a touchdown. I mean, this Falcons team right now, I think still, this is easily, not even I think it's a known fact at this point that the Buccaneers are going to win the NFC South. But this Falcons team, when you beat the Bills by 10 on a primetime game, I know they were in Atlanta, but this is still huge for these Falcons because Michael Penix Jr., I feel like now he's definitely kind of stepped into like, yeah, I can take this role. I can get this. Bijan Robinson, like I said, great night. And then Drake London is just doing what Drake London loves to do, and that's ball out. So now the Bears-Commanders game, this game, quite the ending for the Commanders in D.C., but the Bears, honestly, Caleb Williams had a great night, a career night. 17 for 29, 252 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown. And then DeAndre Swift had 14 carries, 108 yards, no touchdowns, but 67 receiving yards, 67, and 2 receptions and a receiving touchdown. Jaden Daniels for the Commanders had a good night. It's just that it was it's good, but it's just very interesting. 19 for 26, 211 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. We're going to come back to him in just a moment. And then Krosky Merritt, their starting running back, 17 carries and 61 yards, which is not that great whatsoever. No touchdowns. And then the Commanders' leading receiver was Chris Moore. Haven't heard of him. I don't think you have either, if you're listening. 3 receptions, 46 yards, and a touchdown. That right there is that's something, all right. But yeah, back on the Jaden Daniels page, he fumbled towards the end of the game. The Bears drive down the field, they kick a field goal, they win the game 25-24. That's a big loss for the Commanders, especially where the Eagles lost this week too to the Giants. I mean, this division's like not wide open, but the Commanders should be more competitive than they are. The fact that they're 3-3 going into Week 7 is a bit disturbing for me, for the Commanders, especially where they made the NFC Championship last season. I feel like that's kind of expected. I mean, Jaden Daniels, he's a great quarterback, probably a top 10 quarterback in the league right now, but I don't know, man. This Commanders team needs to figure it out. I mean, that's great coaching by Ben Johnson, great game by Caleb Williams, tremendous game just overall by the Bears. I think that Caleb Williams, like I said, career night for him. We're going to move on now to the NBA preseason. Pretty big game. I made a short last night. Cooper Flagg started at point guard. 21 minutes, 7 rebounds. He had an assist and he had 11 points. Pretty solid, especially where he's a rookie. Anthony Davis, though, he had a great night. He had 25 points. And then Najee Marshall dropped 17, which is pretty good for the Mavs that you see these people contributing. That's not Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis, where Kyrie is going to miss at least until Christmas. He's probably going to miss a little bit into January, and he might miss more than that. So, potential February comeback for Kyrie Irving. So, it's really good to see these guys stepping up, even if it just is preseason. They played the Jazz. They won 114 to 101. Ace Bailey, in 11 minutes, had 1 rebound, no assists, and 3 points. That's a bit concerning for the Utah Jazz because besides Lauri Markkanen, Ace Bailey's kind of supposed to be your guy. You know what I'm saying? You drafted him in the top 10 for a reason, and I know it's just the preseason, but in 11 minutes, 1 rebound and 3 points is not going to cut it, I don't think, because if you want, he's probably going to start. It's for the Jazz anyway, but, I mean, just going forward, I think that is a little concerning for the Jazz. Last night, too, the Spurs beat the Pacers. The Wizards beat the Knicks. So that was a little surprising with the Wizards beating the Knicks. And then the Hawks beat the Heat in OT, 119 to 118, which is a good sign for the Hawks. I mean, this Hawks team, though, KP, Trae Young, probably going to be a top 6 team this year with the weak East. But, I don't know. We are going to see. Also, the NBA regular season starts in 7 days. So 7 days until the start of the season. Rockets OKC. I want you to comment who you think is going to win. My personal take right now, the odds on just like the Google overview, 73% OKC, 27% for the Rockets. I'm going to take OKC. It's the start of the regular season. First game, coming back from a championship. It is KD's. This is going to be really interesting because it's Kevin Durant in OKC. I'm pretty sure that this is a home game for OKC. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it is in OKC. But Kevin Durant's coming back to OKC. I think that Shea gets the win. And we'll see how many fouls he gets. Also comment that. How many fouls is going to be on, SGA? How many people are going to foul SGA? Comment that down below. I'll try to respond to it. But, yeah, so 7 days until the start of the NBA season. Thank you guys a lot for watching this video. You can comment what I should talk about, in the next video, what I missed. Give your opinions on Monday Night Football, MLB playoffs. Who's gonna win tonight? Not Mariners, Blue Jays, I'm sorry. Dodgers, Brewers. Comment down below who you think's gonna win that game. Comment your takes on Monday Night Football. Comment your takes on the NBA preseason going into the NBA regular season. Just comment what you think. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching the Cheap Seats podcast. If you didn't know, this is the second channel to Boston Sports Fan. We're going to do some podcasting clips on here. But yeah, like I said, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you like this, it would mean a lot to me if you liked and subscribed. This is the Cheap Seats podcast. Thanks for watching.